we just did Canada, and we played For What It's Worth in Winnipeg, and they knew every one of Neil's guitar licks, which I play now, which are really cool, and I couldn't improve on them, so I just play what he did on the record, and it was just beyond belief. It's just like every time I do something really right, it would. Now that band was really, really good, and I think that's going to be the next project. Somehow me and Neil are going to revive the spring of those, the spring tunes. If it's maybe with me and him and Richie and a rhythm section.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of guitars, for the tech heads out there, what do you like playing these days? Instrument-wise.
I have a 1956 and two 1957 Stratocasters. I have an original Flying V from the 50s. I've got an old White Falcon, and then I have the Gretsch. They went back to the old specs off my guitar on my White Falcon and made me 4 more of those. And I have an Esquire, and I have the Stephen Stills Martin D45. I have 5 of them.
Jeez, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, when you're not playing
and a Gibson Super 400.
Yeah, that makes my Squire Telecaster seem pretty lame, all right. When you're not playing with these guys over the years, you've worked with people like Ringo Starr, in the Stop and Smell the Roses album. What's it like working with one of the Beatles?
He walks in the studio, and we're kind of dithering around, and he says, "Well, Stephen, you're the producer, produce." Only it was much calmer than usual. "Well, Stephen, you're the producer, produce."
He's going to be in Minnesota next week.
Oh, he's a dear soul. I love him to death.
He seems to be working a lot with Mark Hudson these days, but do you ever envision helping produce an album for him again?
Nah, he's got plenty of people to help him. I've got my hands full with my own lot.
Okay. Now we got to ask the standard tour questions. What do you think of Duluth?
I haven't seen anything but this is great. I want to go get my camera and take pictures of the tugboat and everything, and that I suppose would be a lake grain boat, right? That's a lake boat. That's okay. An oar boat, okay. And it's really pretty. It's really pretty, and I've always liked Minnesota for some reason. One of our first gigs was in Minnesota.
Is that right?
Yeah.
With Crosby, Stills, and Nash, or with
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. The very first tour, I think we played Denver, and then we played the Twin Cities, and then we went down to Denver, and then L.A. at the Greek Theater, and that was it. So we actually started our first gig was.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That's an interesting historical tidbit to throw out.
Yeah, that's a historic. So Minnesota looms large in our legend, eh?
Good deal, eh? Yeah. Now this interview is going to be running after your show for the 10 o'clock news.
So you're not going to help put people in the seats?
We're going to do a plug for it, but
okay.
Then we're going to do the post-show wrap-up. So the question I got to ask now is, what comes up for Crosby, Stills, and Nash here tomorrow? Where are you heading to next?
It doesn't matter. Because I'm looking forward to the Iowa State Fair, because I want to grab bushels of sweet corn to stick in the bottom of my bus. And then I want to go, and then I'm taking my bus, and I'm going to Maine to meet my beloved wife and my children, and we're going to lay by the sea. And this will be my first experience at Yankee Land Sea. I'm a Florida boy, so.
All right.
So this is you can't swim in it, basically.
Stephen, you said you were working, or somebody mentioned you were working on your own project.
Yeah, I've been working on the same solo album for about 15 years, and it keeps, what'll happen is we'll be going along and I'll get a great bunch of songs, and then I'll make the mistake of playing it for the boys. And they will rip the heart out of it and say, no, we're cutting that. And then we'll put it out and it will die. So, because we cut them again. So basically, I've written a bunch this time, and no, you can't have them. I'm going to make one last solo album, and this is kind of a little, it's my best one in years, and it sounds like the old stuff, from the 70s.
We're going to look forward to that. Final question here.
Totally retro. I'll use my son's picture on the album cover, though, and then they'll think it's some great new artist.
Excellent. Seeing the two of us are close to 40, we love retro, so we'll be buying that one.
Yeah.
Now, final question, are there any fresh plans for any new records from Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Actually, we've been recording every show, and basically it's like the more we record shows without going through them, the longer it's going to take to go through all the shows and find a great live album.
Okay.
I know it's there. There's stuff I've heard that sounds like a record.